Hey guys, welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Seegers, and this time we're joined by basically the entire GameXplain crew, including Derek Bidner, Ash Paulson, and Tom Arnold, as well as special guest Josh Thomas, who's basically GameXplain at this point, to finally give our predictions for E3 2015, which of course means it'll be mostly about Nintendo. So let's get started. Alright guys, so people have been bugging us for a while now to do our E3 predictions, and here we are finally doing it just a week before E3. It is super soon. And I'm kind of glad we waited, because we found out some things about Smash Brothers yesterday, like Lucas coming, which is surprising to me, because I thought he might be announced at E3, and I know you did too, Ash. But that means it opens up the floodgates for a ton of other rumors, and so we're going to go from person to person, and we'll each give our predictions, and we'll all weigh in on them. So I'll go ahead and start things off here. I think there'll be big news for Smash Brothers at E3. And I think that is going to be basically what we've discussed before, being Ryu and Roy coming to the game. I'm pretty confident that'll be the case.
Okay. Signs have been pointing that way with all the those rumors. Nobody's really disproven them, and they got all that internal memos, and it all seems kind of likely with what the thing is going. The only strange part about that is Ryu himself. Whether or not they'll go for a brand new character like that or just continue the trend of bringing in old characters from previous Smash games. Ryu, I'm not so sure about, but I'd be honestly shocked if Roy doesn't actually make it in.
Okay. I do agree that Ryu is going to be revealed, but I don't for some reason think Roy is. I think they're going to hold off on that. I think Ryu is going to be revealed, and I do think that they are going to show off the first DLC stages, either like the first DLC stages or the first DLC stage pack. Mm-hmm. And I think all of it's going to get like a late summer release, and I think they also might reveal Wolf for Star Fox, the whole Star Fox Wii U, thing. So yeah, I think sense. Roy is going to be held off for whatever reason, but I think we might get Ryu, and I think we might see a tease of Wolf, maybe.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I was speaking more about our past discussion in general. I think Ryu is a sure bet based on the data files.
I think basically too.
Yeah, Roy is kind of like whatever, but I think a lot of people would be excited to see him.
I think so too, yeah.
But I think Wolf would make perfect sense, especially with the fact that it's almost guaranteed we'll be seeing a lot more Star Fox at E3.
Exactly.
Is it too soon to see Inklings or guys from Splatoon in Smash Brothers, you think?
Well, we kind of already have. I mean, and at least in terms of what they're probably going to do for Smash Wii U and 3DS, because they're doing those Inkling costumes.
Yeah.
For the Mii Fighters.
Yes, right. I'll do that for now.
And I said before, I feel like the Inklings are something they would sit on until the next Smash Brothers game, because they would need some big characters for that one, or some big recent characters, and there's not too many of them that haven't appeared in a Smash Brothers game, so I think that'll be more Smash 5.
I remember that in the latest patch there was also the music from Dreamland 64 found, and I think someone looked into the code of the official Smash site and found like a section for the DLC part of like DLC page listing stages. So not actual stages, but just saying that stages are coming. So that's why I kind of think we're going to get the first stages revealed.
I would not be surprised. I mean, I've been saying for a while it would be a shame. I mean, Nintendo would be throwing away money if they didn't do more DLC content for Smash.
Totally.
And I think E3 is a great time to put the spotlight back on Smash Brothers, especially with Lucas coming out just 2 days before.
Now, do you guys think we'll get any word about this tournament mode that they teased basically 6 months ago with no word of it since? I would have thought that'd be something that would have come out a lot sooner, but we've heard nothing about it.
I don't know if that's E3 material, I suppose, but I could see them talking about it. I mean, I could see them giving Smash Brothers its whole segment where they mention it as part of upcoming content.
Well, it's funny you say that too. I was actually kind of thinking they might tie that into the Ryu announcement, because they're kind of related, such that
that's true.
Ryu is a traditional fighting game character from a fighting game that specializes in tournaments. That's what Street Fighter is all about, is crazy big tournaments. Mm-hmm. And it would make sense to tie the actual release of the tournament modes with the announcement of Ryu. So I think that actually might happen.
Well, what if it was with the World Championships that they're putting on in some way? So they could be saving it for that.
That would be a strange way to introduce Smash's tournament modes, though, because I honestly don't think that many people are even paying attention to the Nintendo World Championships.
Just Fred Savage.
Yeah, basically. But they.
Someone did remind me though that the Nintendo World Championship is happening the same day Lucas is dropping. So I don't know if that's related at all in any way, but
something I did find interesting, I didn't even realize, was that yesterday was the 20th anniversary of Earthbound's release. and we got the Lucas announcement, which is kind of crazy. A strange coincidence.
Well, I think Josh has some thoughts on that.
The wait is over. Earthbound gods are finally hearing our prayers. We're getting an Earthbound collection announced at E3. There's way too much stuff suggesting this. We've got Lucas dropping his DLC just before E3. That's a little too convenient. Also, the other day was the 20th anniversary of Earthbound releasing here in America. It's happening.
And on top of that, you mentioned to me yesterday too, last year during Nintendo's Direct event, they had the Earthbound jokes as well.
Yeah, I think that was a little I think that was a little hint. Just like we kept seeing the Majora's Mask pop up in Zelda games, and all of a sudden we finally see Majora's Mask 3D. I think it's happening. And you know, we know that the creator of Earthbound doesn't want to make a new game, but that doesn't mean they can't release something new of Earthbound if it's like a collection of the previous games getting translated. I think they're going to do it. I really believe this is happening.
You poor soul. You poor soul. There's no helping you.
I can't wait till we have a post E3 discussion. I'm going to be here with a huge grin on my face when I was right.
Hey, I'll be happy to be wrong. I'll have a huge grin on my face too, because it'll mean we're getting an Earthbound collection. So hey, if I'm wrong, that's fine with me.
Yeah, it's win-win for Ash.
Yeah.
The thing I don't really see a collection happening. I could definitely see a virtual console release of Mother 3 though. I think that's the more likely option, just because of the whole push on the Wii U for Game Boy Advance titles.
See, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about a collection, but I can definitely see Mother 3 finally being translated and brought virtually.
I'm not sure it is though, because there's a lot of text in that game. That is a lot of work.
Yeah,
for Nintendo for a simple eShop.
Yeah. That's why I think it'll be like they'll make it into like some kind of collection release to like celebrate the anniversary.
Yeah, I think that's how they would have to do it. Like they basically have to treat it as an entirely new game.
I don't know.
Unless they bought the translated script from that group that already translated it, but I don't see Nintendo doing that. So.
They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I am actually with Derek on this one. I don't think they have any real faith in Earthbound's or Mother's sales potential, so I think it makes more sense if they were going to do it to localize Mother 3 as a digital-only Game Boy Advance Virtual Console release, because then, I mean, yeah, they're spending money on the localization, but not a whole lot else. I mean, they don't have to package it, they don't have to, put together really any marketing for it except for on the eShop, so I don't think they think Mother has that kind of sales potential in the US, and I think they're sadly right.
But you can look at other series that were traditionally not very, popular here in the West. Like, for example, Fire Emblem was always kind of a dud here, and also Xenoblade came out, and both of those are like a success now, and they're like Japanese kind of RPGs. I think Nintendo might look at that success and be like, hey, maybe we could actually bring something over with Earthbound, because now we see some potential here with, like, Japanese RPG.
That is possible. I mean, I hope you're right. That would be great.
There is the whole Smash connection too. I think enough people got interested in Lucas because, well, Lucas was a badass in Brawl. Everybody loved him more than Ness as far as playing him, and that had an effect on Fire Emblem. I'm pretty sure Nintendo took notice of that. So there is precedent for it to maybe come out, but I'm not sure if a collection is going to happen. I can sort of see it happening, but I'm not confident enough to say for sure.
No, I got it, guys. We are getting a Lucas 2D platformer in the style of the new Chibi Robo game.
Oh, God, no. That was so heartbreaking to me. Don't bring that up. Oh, that broke
I'm
my
excited
heart.
for that. I guess I'm the only one.
All right. New prediction. Who else wants to go next?
I'll go. I mean, since we're on the subject of slightly crazy things, but although I think this is a little more, in the realm of realism, in my opinion, I do think this is the year that we're finally going to get a new Metroid game announced.
Ooh,
I think it's going to happen this year.
Well, if we're going off teasers like the Earthbound thing, they've been teasing Metroid for some time now. Like back when they showed off Tropical Freeze, Reggie was wearing that Metroid pin. So
yeah, so it feels like it's time. I don't know if that ties into what Retro's working on, if they're working on Metroid Prime 4 or whatever, but I do think there's going to be a Metroid announcement at E3.
Somebody asked Retro Studios on Twitter if we're going to see their game at E3, and they responded with like that image of Reggie with like his hands in the air, like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's a little hint that we might see what Retro's doing.
So do you think it'd be 3DS or Wii U?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 3DS. I don't know why I think so, but I have a feeling it's going to be like a 2D or 2.5D-esque Metroid game for 3DS.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just going to be my prediction.
New Super Metroid?
Oh,
no.
God, new
No,
Metroid.
just
God.
Just call it Metroid Dread. Honestly,
Yeah,
if I have one hope for Metroid, I want to see a game take place after Fusion.
Me too.
Yeah.
We haven't had that, in so long. It keeps being these interquels, and no, continue the plot. I'm curious to see what happens after Fusion. Also, because that means Malkovich is dead and he can't show up.
Right.
No, we're gonna go back and find out how the Metroids were created, with one bursting from Samus's stomach and like blending with some alien on a planet or something, like Prometheus.
Oh Jesus! I don't know. I would love to see that. I don't know what's going to happen though. I'm a little bit less certain on that than you.
I mean, I don't either. That's why it's a prediction.
Like, is it possible for Retro to actually do something new by themselves, or are they stuck between Donkey Kong and Metroid forever?
That's the sort of the weird thing, is I'd love
Yeah.
to see them do their own property, make a new IP, and that's one of my big hopes for this E3 is to show another brand new IP for Nintendo, because Splatoon, as much as Codename Steam kind of didn't work out for them, Splatoon, I think we can all classify as a huge hit, and I'd
Yeah.
love to see Retro go off and do their own thing, and maybe potentially create another hit for Nintendo and a new IP, which they still need more new IPs out there. They need to use some of their old IPs, but I'd still love to see something new come out for them. But on the other hand, I do want to see them do another Metroid because they're so good at it.
And it's been a while.
Yeah.
And they did tease Metroid in, I mean, if you want to call it a tease, there was a cameo by Metroid's ship, or Samus's ship in Tropical Freeze, so...
Yeah.
That's true. I just love that you said Metroid ship. That's amazing that you even said that.
It's true, it's a ship in Metroid. I do wonder if it's too soon since Tropical Freeze, though. Like, they usually take their time with games. They usually only have, like, 1 or 2 games per generation, I think.
Last year in an interview, Mr. Miyamoto was asked about Retro Studios, and he mentioned that he does feel that they're kind of to the point now where they could work on more than one game at a time.
True.
Yeah.
So,
well, hopefully. I mean, that could be the case. So maybe. Tom, prediction.
Let's see. I predict we'll finally see what Next Level Games is working on.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Although I am, so they did work on Punch-Out and Luigi's Mansion recently, but I'm gonna guess, if anything, it's going to be like when they worked on 2 Strikers close together, or like 2 Mario Soccer games. They're going to be working on maybe a Luigi's Mansion for Wii U.
Oh, man.
I would love Luigi's Mansion on Wii U, assuming it's more in the style of the first one than
yes,
Darkman.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
I did prefer the first one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. But I think it'd be a great fit on the Wii U. Like, and for one, the original game still looks great, and I think it will look awesome on Wii U. And I love the idea of being able to maybe have the gamepad offer like a first-person vacuum perspective.
Yeah.
Right?
That'd be cool, yeah.
Scanning for ghosts or something like that. There's a lot you could do in a Luigi's Mansion with the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely a Ghost Scanner, like we saw in the sort of Game & Wario style games the first year at E3 with the Wii U gamepad. Or
Right.
like also throwing some sort of multiplayer in there. I mean, we looked multiplayer where it was so good in Nintendo Land. I'd love to see more of that sort of stuff.
That would be cool to have an actual, take the Nintendo Land mini game and put it in the full game as something, just not me related.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I'd love to see a new Luigi's Mansion for them, because you guys might be a little down on Dark Moon, but I actually really did enjoy that game. Maybe even more so than the first.
I enjoyed it. I just think I prefer the structure of the original game more. The kind of the more open-ended, not non-mission based structure. I don't think the mission based structure worked out well for Luigi's Mansion.
Well, yeah, but it's Luigi's Mansion, not Luigi's Mansions.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I guess what I fell in love with is the personality that Dark Moon brought to everything.
Well, that's what
That's
Next Level
true.
is great at, although I think Josh
Yeah.
might disagree. I think
I'm the only person on the planet who doesn't like Next Level Games, by the way.
Ooh.
think you
that's
might
because
be
you're wrong about most things, but that's okay.
I don't think I don't think they'd be working on, as much as I would love to see Luigi's Mansion. I don't think they'd be working on it. We did talk about how we had our discussion about Punch Out possibly coming to Wii U based on that one E3 image, which I don't think now is really a hint at anything. But I do think if they're working on a sequel to something, I think it will be a Punch Out sequel. Although I could see them working on a Mario Sports game too. We haven't had a single Mario Sports game on Wii U yet, which is kind of nuts.
That is strange, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Strikers 3.
But in a way, it's like a waste of talent for next level games to be doing that. In a way, it's more like monster games could be doing that at this point.
That's true. All right, Derek, prediction.
I still think we're going to get a new set of Mario Kart 8 DLC announced.
Yes.
Damn, he stole one of mine.
I think, yeah, he took that. He took mine too.
Sorry. And no,
Okay,
it's
what
just
kind of DLC?
I think probably more tracks. If I had to guess anything,
Where's battle mode?
Battle mode
Yeah.
is a lost cause. They're not going to worry about it.
I've never given up hope.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
It's a lost cause. They haven't focused on that at
Derek,
all.
don't say
It hasn't
that.
even been brought up. This is going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be more new tracks and all that stuff. I can totally see it happening, and what tracks they're going to do, I have no idea. But I think there's so much potential there. Get Metroid tracks, Star Fox tracks,
Kirby tracks.
Kirby tracks. Get Kirby as a playable character.
Yes.
All this stuff that they could do with Mario Kart 8 still, and the DLC has proven so popular. I can't imagine it not being a priority for them.
I mean, they would be crazy not to.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, I've been a big fan of how they've been handling DLC. It seems to be a success. And it seems like, too, Nintendo is really using different games to, like, almost advertise others. Like, they're doing a lot of cross-branding these days. Yeah. And it makes sense to just keep using Mario Kart in that way. Like, maybe there's an F-Zero coming, right? Based on all the F-Zero tracks in the game now. So, yeah, I think there's a good chance we'll get more Mario Kart 8 DLC.
Well, and there is a thing, too, where it was alluded to, I think, in their recent financial report, or in one of the investor meetings, that they are continuing to make Mario Kart 8 DLC. So I think they pretty much,
Well, we actually talked about
anything,
that. They actually issued that, or they wrote that before Pack 2 came out. So maybe they referenced to Pack 2.
That makes sense. Well, I still think it's coming. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it makes too much sense. And it seems like they're really trying to kind of define Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, for this generation at least, as their own kind of platforms. Mm-hmm. So, their own kind of continuing, evergreen platforms with continuous new content. So I think that makes sense.
See, I kind of feel like some of those ideas would be more from Mario Kart 9, like really making it a Nintendo kind of kart game. I feel like this was just them testing it. It was a huge success, and maybe they would hold off on the Kirby track and the Metroid track for like the next game to make that the identity of the next kart game.
I mean, I would have said that too, but then we got a Zelda track and an Animal Crossing track. So that's what I would have said before we got those tracks, but now that we have them.
I don't think they would ever drop like the Mario Kart branding, so I'm not sure if that's even a consideration really for them. I don't know how much. I don't know if they would die. I don't know if they would go all in on that idea. Basically, Smash Brothers Kart, right?
Well, they just keep it like Mario Kart Nintendo All-Star Edition or
Right,
something like that. They keep the Mario Kart.
Where's my Double Dash 2?
Yeah, Double Dash add-on.
I think you're going to have to give up hope on that.
I'm not predicting that for the record. I don't think that they will ever come, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll predict it, so if it happens, I'm right. Double Dash DLC.
All right,
Happening.
awesome. I think we might I think we'll get more information about Splatoon DLC.
Yeah.
And if anything, I still think, even though they talked about this in the WADA Asks, how they hadn't even apparently considered Mario Sunshine stuff for the game, I'm going to throw it out there. I think we're getting Mario Sunshine stuff for the game. I don't know when. It may not be announced at E3. Someday, there will be Mario Sunshine content in Splatoon.
Now, the big question is, will it be announced alongside Mario Sunshine HD?
So I actually had that on here. That would be the
Okay.
perfect tie-in, right?
It would be be
Yeah.
the perfect tie-in.
I think it would make a ton of sense because they built that software for Wind Waker to specifically easily port GameCube games to the Wii U. They've used it for one game. That seems like a complete waste. I think Mario Sunshine HD would make a lot of sense. I know Josh would just... he would
Oh my
Splatoon all over the place.
I'd have. Oh my god, it would be so magical.
I'd be so down with that. I think Mario Sunshine is unfairly overlooked. I like it.
Oh,
Yes.
there's nothing unfair about it. But with that said, if they can improve it in a way similar that they did to Wind Waker HD, I would be okay with it.
Right.
And I think actually it will look awesome. Like, especially seeing, the game originally looked great, and seeing how well like the ink effects work in Splatoon, I think it would look beautiful in HD.
I want that to happen so bad. You have no idea. Oh my gosh.
It really is like a perfect summer game to me. Like I mean, all the levels are based around summer and vacation and all that stuff. But when I play it, even think about it, I remember playing it during the summer and just really enjoying it. Now, going for 100%, you're not going to have fun with Mario Sunshine. But if you're just playing the game on its most basic level, there is fun to be had with Sunshine, despite some of its flaws. But no, I'd love to see an HD remake and see how they tweaked it and fixed it and make things more like Wind Waker HD, where they sort of just updated the game to make it flow better. And I kind of do hope we get a Sunshine HD port. I think it'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm. and I don't know, Derek, you said you wouldn't have fun going for 100%, but I actually did, because I enjoyed massively punishing platformers. I mean, it's such a punishingly difficult game, but I love that.
No, it's not difficult. It's tedious.
You don't have to get the blue coins, Andre. You don't have
If you want the Hawaiian shirt and the sunglasses, you need the blue coins.
Okay, you have to get the blue coins. Yes, you do need that.
But compromise. You can just buy that Hawaiian shirt on DLC now.
There we go.
Maybe this time they'll make it like you get Luigi in that outfit, and you get Luigi as a second quest.
All right, I'll compromise. Make it easier to track down the blue coins that you haven't found yet, but don't take away the fact that if you die, you lose everything you collected. Because that was one of the most thrilling things about that game, was that it was pretty difficult, and if you had 99 blue coins and you died en route to the 100th, you had to start over.
Oh my god, you were the
and
worst.
It was punishing. Like, it was an old school white knuckle difficulty, and I like that about it.
The most thrilling thing about that game was turning it off.
Man, so much hate.
Alright, I think it's time for me to give another prediction. I am predicting, obviously, we will find out a lot more about Star Fox, probably get an exact release date, hopefully. But I'm going to specifically predict we will get a multiplayer mode, which I don't think is that crazy of a prediction. That's what Star Fox often has had. But on top of that, I'm going to predict we will get a co-op mode. Like a co-op mode for the campaign. They toyed around with the idea to some, well, maybe not with the idea specifically, but they had the concept on the Namco one where you like your teammate could hop on the wing and shoot things.
And that was so cool.
Something like that in Star Fox Wii U.
I could see that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That was like one of my favorite things in Assault, like how you could have somebody on. You could even do it in multiplayer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. That was really cool, and I think that'll make a ton of sense for this game, particularly with them already having that TV and gamepad division, like for in the control-wise. Like, I could see where one person's flying the R-Wing, the other handles shooting, like Double Dash, or maybe they just get a second gun, similar to Jet Force Gemini.
So So you're not saying that you think that there's going to be co-op such that you know one person can play as Fox and then another person plays as like Falco or Peppy or whatever.
I mean, that would be awesome. I don't think they would do that, especially if they're using if they're going to have like on rails missions. I don't know how they would really do that with two R-Wings flying in the same space.
Could be for the area missions, though. Like, those ones in a big field, and you could call people over. Like, that'd be really awesome to call over teammates. Like, hey, help me out, and it's an actual person instead of just a CPU.
What if they had team-based multiplayer, like like Splatoon, like 4-on-4, Star Wolf versus Star Fox
in all range mode? Oh, that'd be awesome,
right? Oh,
that would be really
so
cool.
good.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy as long as this game doesn't end up being like Star Fox 64 HD. Like, as long as this ends up being a completely new game, I'm going to be totally happy. And it's going to be, but I was just a little worried about that tech demo they had last year.
Which was Star Fox 64.
Clearly Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't remake that game again.
I just want to see gameplay at this point. We have yet to see a damn trailer for this game. Just those
it's going to happen.
Few screens. I know that's going to happen, but I'm just like, please show it to me. I just want to have some confidence in this game finally.
You mean that blurry footage behind Mr. Miyamoto wasn't exciting enough for you?
No.
He's
working on something.
The sad thing is, I'm not sure if they actually added that blur filter or if that's just how the game looks.
Yeah.
So, don't you guys remember, though, the two sort of tech demos last year where there was the one with all the robots coming in a base with security cameras and they had little Star Fox logos on it? Do you think
Project Guard and
the giant robot customization one, do you think those will tie into it at all, or just like, hey, here are gamepad demos, and then they'll cut them from
I think those will be in Star Fox, actually, as like fully fleshed out missions.
Project Guard makes a lot of sense. I can see it. I don't know how they would incorporate it. Like, maybe it could be just a way to break up the main game, where you have to, like, you go back to base and you have to defend it or something, the Star Fox base, or base, rather.
Yeah, maybe the Great Fox gets infiltrated and you're playing as Peppy defending all the different areas.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I can see that being even a multiplayer mode in some way. I mean, they'd have to greatly rework it, but I'm sure they've had time since then. As for Project Robot, I'm totally okay that game just goes away forever.
See, I didn't play it. You guys played it, so I don't know if it was bad or something. But like the idea of Team Star Fox and a giant robot battling things, I'm okay with that.
Like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm
cool,
thinking.
Actually. my one true hope for Star Fox Wii U is that it has like multiple soap opera style endings, like Star Fox Command. With,
No,
like,
no, no!
all the crazy romantic entanglements and Crystal turning into Cursed and Fox not recognizing her. That was amazing. It was so
No
stupid.
way! You love that?
Oh, because it was aggressively stupid. But
It
like,
plays up the
it was
cheesy
awesome.
side of Star Fox.
It was
That's
like
I
the
wanted
thing.
so
to
dumb.
ignore that. Oh no, that would. I hated that about Star Fox Command.
Oh, it was
no.
so stupid that I loved it. I'm like, oh, you know what? They're totally embracing this whole space animal, soap opera type thing. Let's
Use
go
your words
for it.
carefully here, Ash.
All in. Let's all in. Let's go for it.
So,
And see, I would like them to ignore any romance, any drama, just making it about blasting things as these cool characters in space, and that's all I want. I
I
don't
mean, you
want
can
like
have both. You can have blasting, cool things in space, in a crazy romantic, dumb story like that, like they have been.
see, I think I fall between you two. I don't want. I've said it before. I want them to treat Star Fox as almost like a more mature franchise. Like,
Sure.
I want them to treat the whole thing less kiddie-ish, which I realize is kind of silly to say about a game with flying animals. But I think it's like one of the more mature-looking games you have, like, especially if you go back and look at the 64, or not 64, the original Super Nintendo version. Like, that game was dark-looking. And I would love if they capture that atmosphere again for a future Star Fox. And,
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, right? Make it, I don't know, to make it treat it like take it a little more seriously. And like either just get rid of Slippy or change him entirely. Like that.
No,
you can't
Slippy
get rid of
stays.
Slippy.
You can't get rid of Slippy.
No, man,
get rid of
Slippy's-
Crystal. Crystal needs to go.
We're gonna get some hate in the comments right now.
I know.
Oh no, that's
I
for
actually
sure.
don't hate Crystal as much as a lot of people do. I don't love her, but I don't have like this seething hatred.
I want to see stakes brought into this game. You want a darker tone? Let's bring in some Fire Emblem elements where if you lose those characters, they're dead for good.
Whoa.
Dude, you just got real dark all of a sudden.
Yeah, man.
Also, people
try
kill
it. Slippy.
Yeah, people kill Slippy right away.
Yeah. They totally
But
would.
you can bring them back with their amiibo. You scan their amiibo on their back.
But no, I like the idea of having stakes in this because that's the thing. Like, they get knocked out, they go off for a little while, and they come back. I think to really push up the pressure, and maybe just have it a separate mode or something like that, like it's a decision. I think it would be interesting to really push people to like be as good as you can in order to have your entire team survive, and maybe make the AI a little smarter because of that.
Well, I would like them to do what Rogue Leader did on the GameCube, where you can issue commands to your teammates, like in all-range mode,
Yeah.
for instance, and have them actually like follow you around or go attack a base or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Alright guys, so we actually went on for quite a bit longer with our predictions, so we're going to end it right here for part 1. But we'll be back with part 2 very soon, where we'll cover even more Nintendo predictions, covering lots of more games, and we'll even cover some non-Nintendo companies like Sony, Microsoft, and some third parties like Square Enix. So stay tuned for all that, and of course keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on E3 and other things gaming as well. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.